Can you imagine a world without TV, without internet, without mobile phones? I was born in 41. 41, there were no TV, no internet, no mobile phones. Yeah, but in 53, I saw TV first time. I was 13 years old. I think 54, we had a TV at home, and we were all like, shh, looking. Then I have it written down. I had to write it down to get it right. In 1966, I graduated from the textile engineering school in West Germany in 1965. In 1966, where I was working as a designer in a carpet factory, Wilson carpets, you know, high tech and high quality. They had a copy machine, but do you know which one it was? It was the one you put some spirit in it, and there's some color, and then the thing you want to copy goes through, and you can make as many copies as you want. But you have to do one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. So that was 66. Then I went to Africa. I was there for 7 years and I came back in 75. Actually, December 74. But in 76, I wrote a book about my time in Uganda. And what I did there was basically textile industry, training disabled people and women and young people and all that kind of thing. And I wrote a book on a typewriter, the old-fashioned one, where you for every line, and everything that had to be corrected. You did it with whiteout, or if it was too much, you just had to make the whole page again. Okay, that was 76, and I wrote all the pages, and when I thought, now this is, you know, perfect, it was edited, I put it out on the whole floor to see if the flow was right, this one and then this one, and then okay, and then send it off to the printer, and I published it myself and promoted it and sent it out. So that was 76. Then, no copy machine, of course. In 1979, I wrote another book. This time on an electric typewriter with a ball head. It was an IBM and it was like really high tech for that time. It made a lot of noise. And there was a correction tape, but it was still page by page by page by page. Then in 1980, now it's going faster and faster. In 1980, I went to Somalia with my kids and did a project there for United Nations ILO, which is the International Labour Organization. And we report back, you know, the progress of the project and what we need and in the UNDP office, the United Nations Development Project Office, which is sort of the headquarters for UN. And we report on telex. And then we get an answer in 1 or 2 or 3 days, or if it is over the weekend, because Somalia is a Muslim country, and they are off on Friday, and we UN people, we are off Saturday and Sunday, so that's 3 days. So there was a telex, you know, with the tape up that goes through. Anyway, 1980. Fast forward to 1985. What happened there? I had a new job. And that organization were working with computers, so I learned how to use computers, but they were not on the internet. They had their own internal system. So I learned how to use a computer for typing. In 1987, I was on a leave of absence from that organization, and I went back to Denmark, and I did lots of work, and I had a fax machine, and that fax machine could send instant transition of letters and documents, which was like the first time I did it, I was just looking at it. I couldn't believe it. And then another thing rolled in. It was like an answer. Instant! This was like amazing, 1987. Okay. Now in 1990, what happened there? I learned to use the internet. Wow. Woo! And somebody was teaching me, and I was like, I asked her so many questions, and she was so patient. In 2001, I was appointed Executive Director for Able Asia Pacific, and I had office in Sydney, and I got my own laptop. I was on internet. This was like really fantastic, and I was doing a lot of travel all over East Asia, and I could take my laptop with me. That is like, wow. And in 2004, I got my first mobile. And I remember I went on the street in Sydney, and I was like, I can't believe it. I'm walking on the street in Sydney, and there's no wire. I'm not tied to a phone. And I'm talking with my son in Denmark. This was like, wow. Of course, it was not a smartphone. It was just a phone, nothing else than a phone. But it was fantastic. Fast forward to 2021. I have now retired. I was back in Denmark, and I bought a smartphone. And that changed a lot of things, because I discovered all the things you can do with a smartphone, which I had said, no, I'm not going to have a smartphone. I'm fine with my mobile. But when I got the smartphone, it was like a new life. And then I got a big TV screen, which of course I had said, no, I'm not going to have TV. But I got a TV screen, and it was all like Wi-Fi. And it was 55 inches. It was like, wow, I'm in the theater. I'm seeing a movie. And all the things you can see there. That was fantastic. Then, in 2023, one step up, I started a YouTube channel. And now in 2026, I got this new gimbal. Which again is like a whole new level. A whole new level. Absolutely a new ball game. And I'm going to end my digital saga here. You might recognize some of the things that I have said that you have witnessed too. Let me know in the comments. This is so hilarious. The development we have gone through. So subscribe, share, comment, like, all those good things, and have a good day. Bye bye.